Hello, everyone who came together here with us to see the residency showing of STARTS. Tonight's evening will take about 30-40 minutes. We will introduce the current results of the current residents, and then in the end, we also introduce the new residents of the STARTS residency. Now we continue with a short introduction about what is STARTS residency.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the demo event today. Before you see the residency presentation, I will say a few words about what STARTS is and why we are organizing the residencies. My name is Hanna-Liisa, and I am from Tallinn University School of Digital Technologies as well as Elektron. The School of Digital Technologies is a part of the European STARTS network, and STARTS is an EU initiative that aims to bring together arts, academic research and technological innovation. Together with Elektron, we are organizing art science residencies to offer an explorative lab environment where artists can collaborate with researchers and technologists. The main motivation from the university side is to bring in new perspectives and enable unexpected encounters between people with very different backgrounds. To explore the potential of new technologies that are being researched in the university from various points of views. At the same time, we are also investigating how to better support such collaborations, where people with very different backgrounds need to work together. We have proposed a framework and some tools for the residents to make the experience for them as fulfilling as possible. And to conclude, I wanted to say that arts have always had an important role in bridging and making sense of technological innovations. Both the artists and researchers are looking for ways on how to remain human in a world that is more and more technology-centered. We hope that by bringing these efforts together, we can offer new ways on how to interpret the ever-changing environment around us. Today, you will hear about one residency that explored the topic of wearable haptics. Let's hear more details from Kristi and Yulia on how their residency unfolded and what it resulted in.
Thank you, Anna. And I will say a few words about Elektron because we might have viewers who not yet know. Elektron is a transdisciplinary performing arts platform. It's a 3-year-long project supported by Estonian Cultural Ministry. And the aim of this project is to find different ways how to connect technologies, performing arts and science somehow together, or at least bring the fields into a dialogue. This is the beginning of our second season, and we are very excited to see what's ahead of us. Now we have a little introductory video of Yulia and Kristi's residency work. We're gonna see this, we see what they have been up to, and then we're gonna have a little Q&A. So everyone who is at the moment online watching, you're very welcome to post questions in the little chat area, and then I can ask them and they can tell you. Okay, let's continue.
My name is Kristi, and I work in the area of finding new technologies that could make fashion and clothing more sustainable.
I'm Yulia. I'm a third-year PhD student at Tallinn University. human-computer interaction group. Currently, my focus of research is vibrotactile smart wearables. The primary focus of our residency was wearable haptics. Basically, we wanted to create some kind of smart garment that could influence the self-perception of the person and specifically confidence level of the person.
This idea of feeling more confident in your clothes, of course, it's in fashion, it's a very widely and well-known concept, usually achieved through the looks of one's clothing and how it fits. So usually we get that feeling from a mirror or other people looking at us. However, in this project, we are looking at how can we achieve a level of confidence or raise the level of confidence in the person through these vibrotactile stimuli that is created by the sound on the body. We shouldn't really look how it looks like. It's maybe we could even close our eyes when we wear it, but it's really about how the sensations influence the body.
In vibrotactile feedback, you usually use like motors that vibrate, vibration motors. These ones are speakers actually. In our case, they play in such a low level that you can feel them as vibration. And that's our goal. So we want to translate sound into vibration. We take existing sounds that we already know how they influence the emotional state of the person. But now we want to see how they influence via vibration. I tried this dress on myself with these vibrations on. I first tried one. It feels okay. But when we added 3 and they played sound at the same time, the perception, a feeling or sensation from those vibrations were completely different, like totally different. So if we add 3 more, I think it will add differences in experience of the person as well.
Currently, we are now working on our next prototype, or in parallel somehow, which is more functional, but it is like a vest or an object that that can be pulled on different body types, different genders, and so on.
We want to understand whether these vibrations for the sound influences the emotional state of the person, but not only that, we also want to understand how it influences, whether the person becomes happier or more relaxed or maybe more excited or maybe even more sad, who knows. But to do that, we are planning to collect the physiological data, like for example heart rate, or we are planning to use skin conductance sensors, right, to understand whether the person sweats a bit more because it correlates with excitement levels, for example. And also, of course, self-report and see whether those physiological data points and self-report correlate.
I think in terms of the residency, it's been really fulfilling to work in such a supportive team as well, because we've got a lot of help from the Tallinn University HCI group and also help in kind of communicating this project. So I think this is again something that we it's not our project alone, it's like in a bigger context. So in that sense I feel like, you know, we've been fortunate to be in this this project together.
Okay, so hello, Kristi and Yulia. Hello. Hello. And we have actually 2 Yulias here today. The other Yulia is a current new manager of the project, as I understood. Is that correct? Yes. Yes. Yes, and you are doing your master's degree at the moment in Tallinn University.
Yes, in HCI program.
In HCI program. Okay, welcome all of you, and thank you for this to the insight of the residency. I would first like to ask both of you, Kristi and Yulia, who were working on the haptics, to speak how you ended up doing this project together, and what's your field of interests from before, how you ended up working together here. Kristi.
Okay, so maybe I'll start.
Yes.
Indeed. So my name is Kristi, and I'm already a long time interested in how can we transform the industry of textiles and fashion through technology. What are the ways that we can implement new developing solutions or ways of thinking or services into the kind of traditional field in order to make little steps more towards being environmentally friendly. And one of the recent interests is also related around sensorial design. How can we actually change the self-perception of somebody through the clothing that they're wearing? And I've been working on that together with also collaborators as part of a STARTS.EE project. And now this amazing opportunity came up to work also locally in Estonia. And this one, of course, was very welcomed. And I guess how we ended up working together is through the selection process, that we were matched with our interests to work with the wearable haptics. And yeah, maybe Yulia, you can introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Yulia. I'm a third-year PhD student here in Tallinn University under supervision of David Lamas and Elias Morgan. And my interest in haptics actually started earlier than PhD in my master's here also in Tallinn University. And actually, Kristi introduced me to e-electronics or e-textiles, smart garments area. And I was very captured by this opportunity, because I think smart garments is actually a future of our society, whether we want it or not. But I think in many ways it's going to be part of our lives later or in the near future. And well, in my master's, I did a game like an interactive carpet for kids on autism spectrum disorder, and I learned all the aspects of e-textiles. And then I moved into my PhD, and my main focus of PhD is understanding how vibrotactile feedback can influence self-perception of person via vibration. Originally, and I started with more theoretical aspects of tactile sense and how can we manipulate different parameters of vibration. Now I moved into more practical and applicable fields, and here we have this residency, and I was also matched with Kristi, and I'm glad we did this project, and we'll see.
And how much experience did you both have before in kind of hands-on working with electronics, the materials, the soldering, the programming? Like how much pre-knowledge did it require to do this kind of hands-on, what we saw in the video?
Well, I guess that, yeah, we both have some experience in that as well. I myself have been working on, actually, I don't know the number, but several different projects where those things are combined. How can we connect electronics into textile in different levels? And this is also partly what was the central topic of my PhD in Eindhoven Technical University, where I looked into the craft qualities and sustainability qualities of smart textiles. So in a way, I think in this field is pretty essential to have and to gather practical knowledge and kind of hands-on experience.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also find it in this project super valuable that we had this support from the Tallinn University lab, where we had experts helping us also with the technology, which otherwise we could have spent way more time on to try to figure out how to get these things working. But in this residency, it went really smooth thanks to the help that was provided by the program as well.
Oh, that's very cute. Okay. I have another question, and this is a rather stupid question. What is haptics?
Well, haptics is actually it's Latin. It's a Greek term, and it means the science of touch. Actually, directly like that, a science of touch, and that's what we are somewhat touching upon in this project, obviously, because we have a garment and something wears the garment and it vibrates. So it involves a lot of aspects. So we have to understand how tactile sense work, right? What are the limitations of tactile sense? What can we do with it? How can we affect emotional state we are touched? Because touch is so important for humans. It's actually the first sense that develops in humans, actually already in a mother's womb.
Is touch?
It's the first sense.
Okay. So it's both, in your case, it's both the touch of the textile itself and the touch of the sound.
Yes. Touch of vibration, but we use sound wave for that. Right.
Okay. And describe a little bit how this working process was. Did you end up your own other, like how the days were looking like? You did everything else that you were supposed to do, and then in the evenings you came to the lab and started to, or you worked in the weekends, or how is the process looking like?
Yeah, I guess that in that sense we've been also fortunate because our schedules are flexible to plan in a way that we could put this residency as part of our daily lives as well.
Okay. So
it wasn't like a crazy evening weekend project, but more like something that we could plan and work together in the lab. But at the same time, of course, we also faced the challenges that we are all facing nowadays. It's also why we are meeting in this hybrid format at the moment. So of course, a lot of our work was also going on from distance and sharing what we had been doing through discussions or through writing and try to make it still work.
Okay. And do you have already ideas? What are the next steps? How do you plan to go further? Do you plan to go further, or?
Actually, we do. Yes, we actually do. And since this project is also part of my PhD research, I definitely will continue on this path, and hopefully Kristi can also join me. And definitely we have plans, and we already started doing them. So in addition to the dress that you guys saw on the video, we are constructing our next prototype, which is actually experimental one. So we're going to use it for the conducting actual experiments, because one thing is the concept. Now we have to prove this concept, right?
Can you elaborate on this a bit?
Yes, sure. I brought some of the examples.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I brought some of the example, actually the actual prototype, the second prototype that we are currently constructing. This is just like a vest. It doesn't have electronics yet, but the idea is that we are going to place, someone will wear it, the participants of our future experiments will wear it. We're going to place 6 speakers in the back here, and then we are going to measure. Well, it's more complicated. So the speakers will play a certain music piece, a sound, which is already known how these sounds affect emotional states of people from prior research. But now we want to translate this sound wave into vibration. So it's a different thing. So there is a lot of prior research on how music affects emotions, but not so much research how vibration affects emotional states of humans. So that's our plan. We're gonna have this experiment. We're gonna have people wearing this vest. It's gonna vibrate in a certain way, predetermined way. And then we're gonna take some physiological data, basically heart rate and amount of sweat through the specific sensors. And they will let us know because there are certain parameters we want to measure, like, for example, how excited the person is or otherwise. Of course, there will be also self-report, but that's our plan, to conduct such experiment.
Wow, exciting.
It was just a brief description. Sorry.
I see.
I don't want to make you bored.
No, it's on the contrary, it's not boring at all. And this you will continue together?
Yes, that's our plan.
Kristi?
Yeah, I mean, we do as it is, well, because Yulia's PhD work at the moment is also surrounding this topic. Then some parts of conducting the experiment will be part of the thesis work as well. But I think definitely we are both super interested to see how people react to these sensations and what can we do further with them. So I think this is something that also we have been thinking about, that indeed now we are taking this as a step by step.
Yeah.
And of course we have to go through all these steps in order to go further. But we are also very much interested to actually already jump more into the future and knowing how it influences the body, then apply it in different contexts and maybe envision some scenarios of everyday living that currently are not there.
Great. Okay, thanks. We have a question from the audience, actually. So I shall read it and then you answer. Hi. Do people only feel the sounds on their body, or do they also hear them?
That's a great question, and our technical challenge also, because since we are using speakers, definitely at the lowest amplitude possible, so the person cannot hear the sound. So ideally, the person should not hear the sound, because then other modalities interfering here, hearing, right, audio modality. So ideally the person should not hear the music because we want to make sure that we are measuring haptic feedback, like vibrotactile feedback specifically. We want to measure the effect from vibrotactile feedback, not from other modalities. But potentially it's actually would be very interesting to combine both, because there is also prior research that says that by combining similar modalities and tactile and hearing audio modality, they are very similar in terms of our brain, how it works, right, where it all starts. So vibration and hearing. So it would be very interesting to combine both later. But initially, yes, we don't want the person to hear it.
Okay. When I saw the video first time, yesterday, actually, I was thinking that what you're developing, that was maybe I've been interested lately in this much more, but I had the feeling that it could actually do a lot of the work that currently Xanax or antidepressants or different kind of brain influencing pills could do. That in case if this helps people to be more confident or less stressed or less anxious, it could in a way help people to manage on their own with a lot of psychological instabilities.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is indeed the departure point for also many similar projects as such, and it is indeed. I think there is definitely potential. The question, of course, comes in also about the long-term effect, because this is something that we have seen being developed in labs and being tried out maybe by limited number of users, or seen walking maybe on the catwalk, but it's not in a daily use as something that you wear every day. So that's partly also the idea of this project is, what if we try this crazy idea of raising confidence to something that you're wearing and see how it really influences the people? Because of course one thing is the idea and how it could work or should work.
Yeah.
But what is the reality, and can we measure it, and can we put then this knowledge back into the item that we are developing? Because also we don't, of course, want to harm anyone with this this type of proposal for clothing. So what if it makes things really worse? I mean, that's not a risk that we are willing to take as well.
But indeed, I personally would like to wear a dress like this right now. I'm stressed. I have this interview. And having such dress on me that could help me feel more relaxed and confident, I would love that.
Me too, definitely. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for elaborating on this. And it's very exciting.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and please keep us updated and let us know if you need guinea pigs.
Oh, we will, for sure. Thanks. Letting us know.
Thank you. Now we will continue. I will look at my list. We will continue a short break, and then we have a short talk run by Yulia, the manager of the whole project, and new current residents. Is that so? Yes. Okay. Oh, Taavet.
STARTS is about collaboration between arts, technology, science, and delivering good impact for society. I guess the collaboration is really about pushing boundaries of what is possible, giving a new policy direction for technological innovation.
The match between science and technology, we often forget where it comes, and if we just think about the Bauhaus 100 years ago, there was a new method of production, and the artist, the architect and designer, they revolutionize the way that we conceive our spaces, our objects, and they open huge capacity of production for the industry.
STARTS is really a fantastic opportunity to bring people from very different sectors together. I normally would have never had the chance to actually go to a genetics lab, and I think most people don't get that chance in their lifetime. So it's really a unique opportunity to see a very different world, a different way of working, and by mixing those two fields, to really come up with unique solutions that otherwise would have been impossible to achieve.
So whenever we try to deal with sustainable development and the goals of the United Nations, we are basically facing very difficult problems for which we don't have a clue, typically. We can have ideas, but we don't know whether these ideas are correct or not. So I guess we need to put together, very different people with very different background in order to explore what we call the space of possible solutions. The STARTS program is going in the right direction. It's very peculiar with respect to all the other European projects, right? In this idea of put together different perspectives.
So creativity, curiosity, experimentation, a willingness to challenge the borders of things and to investigate things and why they work and how they work. Those things are consistent across all of the sciences, the technologies, the arts. Questioning and experimenting is inherent in all of those professions. They are a match made in heaven.
Hello, everyone. Currently in Tallinn University, we kick off a third residence. The name is The Gazing of Meaning. And today we have the two representatives from this residency, Mati and Mustafa. Mustafa is one of the participants, and Mati is the second one, but Mustafa is more a mentor. He helps with the eye tracking technology and so on. Right now, I would like Mati to introduce himself shortly.
I'm Mati Mõttus, and there is one person missing, who is my partner in this project. Her name is Nestle, and similar to the recent project, our project is also dealing with emotions of people, but should I now introduce the project too, or should I expect the questions?
Actually, as you wish, but the next my question should be to ask you about your project. So you can go.
Okay. Our project, yes, as the other project was about haptics and maybe a little bit about the sound. Our project is mostly about visuals and a little more about sound as well. We were a little bit inspired about the Corona times when people are isolated and they cannot go to the clubs to listen to music. And we realized that maybe we could invite people at home to participate in a club-like event where the music is played. So there are a few problems. There is no direct, intimate contact among people participating, and no such contact with the performer. Well, let me now share the screen, and I will show our idea. So, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's that you should see now a picture drawn by Nestle. Can you see?
Yes, we can.
Blue lines. So this is the right screen then. Here you can see the performer with DJ set and eye tracker. We will talk about this a little bit later. On the other side, each spectator or listener is at his or her home at the computer connected to the system. Well, and we limit the communications. We do not allow them to communicate verbally, neither do we allow to send the text. What is allowed, or what happens automatically, is that each spectator switches on the camera, and camera camera will see the face expressions and interpret the face expressions as emotions, and these emotions will modulate or change the visualization on the screen. So everyone can see the visualization. In the visualization, there are representations of all participants. Let's say we got 5 participants in this case, and let's say the visualization is a jellyfish where each participant has his or her own jellyfish, which changes the color and shape according to the emotions. So they can see their all the participants' visualizations, and also the performer can see these visualizations. Well, the performer has an eye tracker, and participants are eager to draw the attention to their visualization. When they succeed, it means when the performer looks at the screen at the specific visualization, then the sound will be modulated only for this particular participant, so that they can hear the sound, for example, with some kind of filter on it, with equalized sound, or maybe as it is in different room or environment. Well, and all this is the idea of our level 1 prototype. We are currently at the low fidelity stage in prototyping, and we are dealing with visualizations mainly, but we also figured out how to make the visualization happen according to the face expressions and emotions. So we had testings with participants, and we had also testing with the DJ. It was a fun. Thank you. You may have questions now.
So when you plan to finish?
I guess it was our initial plan was to get it ready by the middle of the March, but now we know that the performance, the presentation will happen perhaps in the beginning of April.
Okay, so we will wait for the updates and for final showing. Probably it will be connected with the big event from Elektron Live, the Elektron Live Festival. We hope. So thank you for the introduction, and we can just give a word for our moderator right now. Hello, hello.
Hi, thank you so much. Yes, this would be definitely a very exciting feature to try on Elektron Live page. We have many open-ended developments that we have never tried out and forgotten, and we are very happy that we are now actually going to try out one prototype, and we are curious to see how it goes. And Mustafa, are you enjoying till so far the process?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. To be honest, it's quite an exciting project, and there's a lot of things going on. So it's I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope I don't know, we can make the most out of this, because yeah, we're going through some strange times, and we're missing out in a lot of opportunities, like social opportunities, and I think this is one of the really important things that I personally have been missing as well. Just, I don't know, watching a concert or watching some kind of performance or any kind of musical event, and so it would be really nice to actually have something like that going on, that we can actually also somehow interact as an audience, which we used to be able to, and now we're not as much as we could. Yes, for sure, for sure. I totally agree. It's been too long. Thank you so much, and we are looking forward, and we will be presenting your showing in the beginning of April during our festival. So good luck to all of you, and thank you so much. And with this, I think we end the evening. Yeah, they say it's okay. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for joining us for tonight. And we see you in a week's time already in Elektron Live. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Now we're out. Thanks.
name is Kristi, and I work in the area of finding new technologies that could make fashion and clothing more sustainable.
I'm Yulia. I'm a third-year PhD student at Tallinn University, Human-Computer Interaction Group. Currently, my focus of research is vibrotactile smart wearables. The primary focus of our residency was wearable haptics. Basically, we wanted to create some kind of smart garment that could influence the self-perception of the person and specifically confidence level of the person.
This idea of feeling more confident in your clothes, of course, it's in fashion, it's a very widely and well-known concept, usually achieved through the looks of one's clothing and how it fits. So usually we get that feeling from a mirror or other people looking at us. However, in this project we are looking at how can we achieve a level of confidence or raise the level of confidence in the person through these vibrotactile stimuli that is created by the sound on the body. We shouldn't really look how it looks like. It's maybe we could even close our eyes when we wear it, but it's really about how the sensations influence the body.
In vibrotactile feedback, you usually use like motors that vibrate, vibration motors. These ones are speakers actually. In our case, they play in such a low level that you can feel them as vibration. And that's our goal. So we want to translate sound into vibration. We take existing sounds that we already know how they influence the emotional state of the person. But now we want to see how they influence via vibration. I tried this dress on myself with these vibrations on. I first tried one. It feels okay, but when we added 3 and they played sound at the same time, the perception, a feeling, or sensation from those vibrations were completely different, like totally different. So if we add 3 more, I think it will add differences in experience of the person as well.
Currently we are now working on our next prototype, or in parallel somehow, which is more functional, but it is like a vest or an object that can be pulled on different body types, different genders and so on.
We want to understand whether these vibrations for the sound influences the emotional state of the person, but not only that, we also want to understand how it influences, whether the person becomes happier or more relaxed or maybe more excited or maybe even more sad, who knows. But to do that, we are planning to collect the physiological data, like for example heart rate, or we are planning to use skin conductance sensors, right, to understand whether the person sweats a bit more because it correlates with excitement levels, for example. And also, of course, self-report and see whether those physiological data points and self-report correlate.
I think in terms of the residency, it's been really fulfilling to work in such a supportive team as well, because we've got a lot of help from the Tallinn University HCI group and also help in kind of communicating this project. So I think this is again something that we it's not our project alone, it's like in a bigger context. So in that sense I feel like, you know, we've been fortunate to be in this this project together. My name is Kristi, and I work in the area of finding new technologies that could make fashion and clothing more sustainable.
I'm Yulia. I'm a third-year PhD student at Tallinn University, Human-Computer Interaction Group. Currently, my focus of research is vibrotactile smart wearables. The primary focus of our residency was wearable haptics. Basically, we wanted to create some kind of smart garment that could influence the self-perception of the person and specifically confidence level of the person.
This idea of feeling more confident in your clothes, of course, it's in fashion, it's a very widely and well-known concept, usually achieved through the looks of one's clothing and how it fits. So usually we get that feeling from a mirror or other people looking at us. However, in this project, we are looking at how can we achieve a level of confidence or raise the level of confidence in the person through these vibrotactile stimuli that is created by the sound on the body. We shouldn't really look how it looks like. It's maybe we could even close our eyes when we wear it, but it's really about how the sensations influence the body.
In vibrotactile feedback, you usually use like motors that vibrate, vibration motors. These ones are speakers actually. In our case, they play in such a low level that you can feel them as vibration. And that's our goal. So we want to translate sound into vibration. We take existing sounds that we already know how they influence the emotional state of the person. But now we want to see how they influence via vibration. I tried this dress on myself with these vibrations on. I first tried one. It feels okay, but when we added 3 and they played sound at the same time, the perception, a feeling, or sensation from those vibrations were completely different, like totally different. So if we add 3 more, I think it will add differences in experience of the person as well.
Currently, we are now working on our next prototype, or in parallel somehow, which is more functional, but it is like a vest or an object that can be pulled on different body types, different genders, and so on.
We want to understand whether these vibrations for the sound influences the emotional state of the person, but not only that, we also want to understand how it influences, whether the person becomes happier or more relaxed or maybe more excited or maybe even more sad, who knows. But to do that, we are planning to collect the physiological data, like, for example, heart rate, or we are planning to use skin conductance sensors, right, to understand whether the person sweats a bit more because it correlates with excitement levels, for example. And also, of course, self-report and see whether those physiological data points and self-report correlate.
I think in terms of the residency, it's been really fulfilling to work in such a supportive team as well, because we've got a lot of help from the Tallinn University HCI group and also help in kind of communicating this project. So I think this is again something that we it's not our project alone, it's like in a bigger context. So in that sense I feel like, you know, we've been fortunate to be in this this project together.